meeting to order. Before we get started, please stand and join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here. Do you have any changes to tonight's agenda?
I guess we can remove item 15. That'll just get moved to April 9th.
Okay.
And then add 16A, which will be the independent contractor agreement for that interim administrator.
Okay. So you've heard the changes. Any other changes from the board?
Motion. I'll second it.
Motion to approve the agenda with the changes noted.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda with removing number 15 and adding 16A independent contractor agreement. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. At this time, we'll open our meeting to public comment. Just a reminder, if you're here for public comment, we're going to ask that you please step up to the podium so that our microphones can pick up the dialogue or hear what you're saying. Those wishing to speak must state their name and address for the record after they are acknowledged by the board chair. Each person will be limited to 2 minutes to make his or her remarks. Speakers will address all comments to the board as a whole and not one individual commissioner. The board may not take action on an item presented during public comment period unless the item is already on the agenda for action. When appropriate, the board may refer inquiries and items brought up during the public comment period to the county administrator for follow-up. Is there any public comment? Anyone here for public comment? Hearing none, we'll close the meeting for public comment. Correspondence in your board packet. Number 4, Land and Liberty Coalition 2023 Production Tax Revenue Fact Sheet. That's on page 3 if you haven't had a chance to take a look at that. We'll move to consent agenda. That's items 5 through 12. Board's wishes.
I'll make a motion to accept those. As they are as follows.
Motion as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Brings us to number 13 on the agenda, adopt resolution authorizing the submittal of grant applications to facade 28 Beaver Lake Park Trail improvements, page 122 of the board packet. Greg.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the board. We're requesting approval of applying for a grant application for a trail within Beaver Lake Park. It's essentially going to run from South Beaver Lake Road to North Beaver Lake Road within the park. This is the DNR Local Trail Connection Program. We're asking for a total of $250,000 for the project, and then we'll have an additional 25% match local, which will be covered either by our state aid or sales tax dollars within the project. The deadline's the end of the month, so we're here tonight for approval.
Who would like to offer the resolution?
Mr. Chair, I'll move the resolution to approve authorizing submittal of the grant application for the CASA 28 Beaver Lake Trail improvements.
I'll second.
The resolution has been offered and seconded. Is there any discussion or questions for Greg? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Resolution passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
Number 14, adopt the public land survey system monument grant resolution, page 147 of the packet. So this was kind of a carryover from 2 previous work sessions. Anybody want to present on that, or is there any comments, questions? Scott?
Chair, yeah, I think we discussed it in the work session today, and yeah, this is your action item to get this moving forward, so that you're approving the application for the grant and authorizing the GIS coordinator to handle all the documentation and administration of the grant.
I'll make that motion to accept it. The land survey, the grant is for $50,000. It's kind of a sweet deal for us.
Okay, so the resolution's been offered. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second to the resolution to adopt the public land survey grant resolution and authorize the GIS coordinator to execute the grant. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Resolution passes. Number 15 is taken off our agenda. Number 16, approve out-of-state travel, PBK annual training, page 157 of your board packet. This was discussed in work session. It's board's wishes on that.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the out-of-state travel for the paralegal and the victim service coordinator.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the out-of-state travel for the paralegal and victim service coordinator to attend annual training. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It brings us to number 16A. This is the add to our agenda. This is the independent contractor agreement. Here too, we did discuss this in a work session. Any follow-up or additional questions from the board?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
We have a motion to accept the independent contract agreement with Janet Franzen as presented. Is there a second?
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Informational items, Public Works Committee minutes, Thursday, March 14th, page 165 in the board packet. No presentations tonight. Brings us to commissioner reports. Commissioner Glenn?
I attended Blue and Prairie Township's annual meeting. I went to a meeting at Somerset Township. I participated in the interviews for county administrator. I went to the township meeting yesterday and the work session today.
Okay. Thank you.
On the 14th, I attended the Chamber of Owatonna's Policy Committee meeting to give them an update on the county and was part of the administrator interviews. On the 19th, I had Minnesota Prairie Health Alliance Finance and Joint Powers Board. On the 20th, I had a smart bus meeting in Albert Lee, and I don't know if it has to do with the fact that we squealed enough, but the price of the buses came down $30,000 a piece. They're still way too high, but at least it's a start. On the 21st, I attended the Chamber of Owatonna's breakfast, and it was on affordable housing. It was a real interesting meeting. And on the 25th, we had South Country Health Alliance Finance Committee meeting and also the Township and County meeting.
Thank you. Scott?
I don't have anything, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Heaney?
On the 13th, I had drug court. On the 14th, we had the Southeast. In Rochester, the EMS meeting. And then on the 14th, we had the interviews as far as the administrator position being open. On the 18th, at the History Center. On the 19th, we had drug court when we had a graduation. It was in the paper, maybe you guys seen some of that. On the 25th, we had the Human Relations Center meeting last night, and the work session just before this week.
Thank you. Commissioner Brady?
On March 14th, had Public Works in the morning, and afternoon was interviews for the administrative position. The 18th was interviews for the Rice and Steele County Extension Educator position. The 21st of March was our final interviews, and we picked a candidate for the Rice Steele County Extension Educator. And 25th was HRC board meeting.
Thank you. On the 14th, I also attended the administrator interviews. On the 19th, the Mid-Prairie Joint Powers Board meeting. On the 20th, we had just a short meeting with some of our community members concerned about the East Side Corridor. I thought that went well. Some good dialogue back and forth. On the 25th, I attended the annual county and township joint meeting, and then our work session today.
Mr. Chair, I've got a couple of meetings to add to mine. I had Public Works on the 14th, and I also attended the 29th Avenue Corridor meeting, so.
Thank you. So next meeting notices, Internal Central Services, Wednesday, April 3rd at 8 a.m. in the boardroom. Property and Maintenance Committee, Thursday, April 4th at 8 a.m. in the boardroom. County Board Work Session, Tuesday, April 9th at 4 p.m. in the boardroom. County Board Meeting, Tuesday, April 9th at 5 p.m. in the boardroom. And that brings us to the end of our meeting. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion, is there a second?
So moved.
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned. Sorry.